Mike isn't confident in her singing skills in episode 8, but Mike is there to give her confidence with his smooth voice. In Hope Valley, trouble frequently follows strangers. In Madeleine St. John's situation, that is undoubtedly the case. The widowed mother broke Bill's heart in last week's When Calls the Heart Season 10 episode when he found out she was secretly engaged. It's unclear exactly what her fiancé, Bernhard Montague, is up to these days on Hope Valley's fringes. But as What Is and What Never Should Be demonstrates, Elizabeth is eager to find out whatever it is. Montague is now living in Bill's former cabin outside of town, while Madeleine and her son Jamie are still out of town. Montague claims he is only making minor adjustments for his future wife. However, the massive workforce and the constant noise indicate otherwise. What of the situation he finds it offensive when strangers pry into his personal affairs? Nathan receives a less than gracious reception when he rides out to the farm. Later, Montague's thugs tell Elizabeth not to come around. When Elizabeth asks Montague about Jamie's previous school and he hardly knows what or who she's talking about, she realizes something is wrong. Lucas begs her not to solve the riddle, even if she's eager to play Nancy Drew. Even though Montague is a dubious character, Lucas doesn't want to offend him because he is still a paying guest at the hotel. Elizabeth complies, but she finds his request a little odd. Afterwards, he tells her to follow her gut and apologizes for prioritizing work. Unfortunately, there are no definitive explanations regarding Montague's motives in this episode of When Calls the Heart. However, Lee's company is supplying the timber for that large and peculiarly situated Trestle Bridge, so that probably has something to do with it. Re-election is being campaigned for by the territory governor. Rosemary acts quickly when she learns that he is avoiding a trip to Hope Valley once more. She needs music to make her elaborate plans for a ticker-tape procession and elegant reception truly spectacular. When Minnie suggests starting a chorus, everyone thinks it's a fantastic idea. Minnie steps forward to lead the chorus, but Rosemary isn't going to stand by and let things happen. She is full of ideas about who ought to be allowed to join and who shouldn't. Minnie, though, is adamant that anyone can join the choir. That also applies to Mai, who isn't naturally melodic. To give her more self-assurance, Rosemary and Minnie put her in Mike Hickham's company. Could something more come from their vocal exercises? A clear moment occurs between them when Hickam tells Mai that he finds her voice to be lovely. Elizabeth has come a long way since her husband Jack's untimely death at the end of Season 5. However, a number of scenes in this season of When Calls the Heart serve as a poignant reminder that, despite Jack's passing, Elizabeth never truly forgets him, especially when little Jack grows older and begins to inquire about his father. In this episode, Elizabeth's visit to her late husband's grave is one of the most moving scenes. She apologizes for not getting back to him sooner, but first she tells him what's been going on in her life and provides an update on their son. "He's becoming more and more like you, Jack," she remarks. "You would be really proud of him, in my opinion. I'm sure you would." The other poignant moment in this episode was provided by Rosaline and Henry Gowan. Rosaline quickly found out that Gowan was the one providing the funding for her scholarship. She turns down the money and vows to leave town as soon as she finds out. She continues to accuse Gowan of starting the mine accident that killed her father, even years after the tragic event. According to her, Gowan is only using the scholarship as an excuse to wipe his hands clean again. Gowan regrets his acts, even though Rosaline won't believe it. Molly, her mother, begs her to think about forgiving others. In due course, Rosaline comes to terms with the fact that Gowan has changed. She informs him that she has noticed his transformation. They are at a powerful time together. Rosaline releases the rage she's been holding inside for a long time. Gowan experiences some respite from his ongoing remorse. She invites him to hear the choir as their chat comes to a close. He consents. Gowan appears to be making his last move towards atonement as he attends church with the other Hope Valley inhabitants. We get the impression that Rosemary is the Hope Valley equivalent of Leslie Knope because of her obsession with making sure the new choir is flawless for the governor's potential visit, and because she also happens to show up in nearby Buxton. Not everything goes according to plan on Allie's first night of babysitting, but happily Nathan intervenes to save the day and discovers tiny Jack cowering beneath the couch. Elizabeth gets Nathan to talk to him about his romantic problems. Regarding his unsuccessful relationship with Faith, he remarks, "I don't think I'm very good at this thing. I might not be suited to be that kind of guy." Elizabeth is empathetic, and it appears like they are just having a sincere conversation as friends. But those viewers who would prefer to see Elizabeth with Nathan rather than Lucas, will undoubtedly have their hopes raised by the private setting and meaningful glances shared by the two.